If you try to build a massive cyberpunk city in Blender like this, your PC will probably start begging for mercy. But there's a trick used in games and film to build huge environments without melting your computer. Today I'll show you that system. Most people try to build cities by making every building super detailed, which quickly destroys viewport performance and inflates render times. But real environments don't work like that. Large environments use something called as level of detail or LODs. The idea is simple. The farther something is from the camera, the less geometry it needs. Background buildings use low poly models, mid-distance buildings use mid-poly, and the buildings closest to the camera become the hero or high poly assets, letting us create vast and beautiful scenes without completely killing your computer. This graphic explains the LOD structure to help you understand easily. In this video, we'll build three types of buildings: a low poly building for the background skyline, a mid poly building for the middle of the scene, and a hero or high poly building for the foreground. Then we'll combine them to create a large cyberpunk scene. As always, I start with a reference. Low poly buildings are designed to be extremely efficient. Their job is to fill the background skyline and give the impression of a large city without adding unnecessary geometry. Most of the detail here actually comes from textures rather than modeling. Simple shapes, strong silhouettes, and emissive window textures can go a long way in creating believable background buildings. I modeled some background buildings using a believable but recognizable silhouette. These don't have to be highly modeled as long as they look good from a distance. Let's texture it. For the windows, we can use a simple facade texture, plug it into the base color, and create a mask for the windows by using a color ramp. I tweak the roughness first by making the mask. You can use an invert node if you want to invert the mask. I also plugged in this mask to the emission texture and increased the strength to give us both the base color and window emission. I applied a simple concrete texture to the rest of the surfaces, and you can add a text logo with a custom font if you wish to enhance the appearance. This gives the building an appearance of hundreds of lit windows while keeping the geometry extremely lightweight. Because these buildings will sit far in the background, this level of detail is more than enough. I also took the time to model some really simple antenna and dish modules for adding to the rooftops of the different buildings later. I kept them extremely low poly as well. Next, we have the mid poly buildings. Mid poly buildings sit closer to the camera, so they need more visual detail. Here we can start adding structural elements, panels, vents, and architectural variation to make the building feel more interesting. The key is to add enough detail for readability while still keeping the geometry efficient and readable from a distance. After modeling a commercial-ish tower, I went ahead modeling a second corporate-looking tower. You can make the designs according to your references and add silhouette details and architectural features to make it more interesting. You should aim to keep the low poly buildings in between 500 to 5000 polygons. And the mid poly buildings can sit anywhere between 10,000 to 30,000 polygons. After this, it's time to start texturing. I started with a simple Sci-Fi panels texture from freepbr.com as the base of the building, and then added the previous window material we made for the faces supposed to have windows on them. I designed different trim sheets with various neon signs on them. Trim sheets and reusable textures make it much faster to add surface detail across large buildings. Neon signs, vents, and panels help give the structure that cyberpunk aesthetic while keeping the workflow scalable. I added neon emission materials in different places to make it more interesting. Let's work on the hero buildings. Hero buildings or high poly buildings are the ones closest to the camera and act as focal points in the scene. This is where we can spend more time adding structures, greebles, lighting elements, and unique shapes to make the building stand out. You can really take your time here and look at real world and cyberpunk references to make it look believable and interesting, and also hold up close to the camera. Look at defining structural elements, utility structures, boxes, vents, control panels, balcony, machinery, and pipes. Take time to study your reference and build a good base model. If you want to see the full process of modeling each building, you can let me know in the comments below, and I'll consider uploading it completely uncut for you guys to learn and follow along. When you're happy with the overall model, let's go ahead and texture it. Because the hero building will be seen up close, we can push the visual detail even further with lighting, advertisements, and emissive elements. You can also add animated neon signs and lights. For that, you can refer to my video 3 ways to animate neon signs in Blender on the top right card. I also generated some AI ads and used them to drive the emission texture for world building and to establish the cyberpunk aesthetic. Finally, I topped off all the buildings with the simple rooftop assets I had previously made. Rooftop assets like antennas and satellite dishes help sell the scale and the technological feel of the structure. Short composition. Once we have the different LOD buildings ready, we can start assembling the city scene. Low poly buildings fill the distant skyline. Mid poly buildings add variation in the midground, and the hero building becomes the visual focus point. Layering these elements together creates the illusion of a much larger city. Make sure to use a defined foreground layer with detailed buildings, midground layer with the mid-poly buildings, and the background layer can use your low-poly designs. But it can also look really monotonous if you use just one kind of buildings. So you can design some variations with different styles, or bring in very low-poly buildings which are basically just cubes with city textures or building facade textures projected onto them using the emission node. So I brought in even simpler lower poly buildings to fill the spaces in between and create some variation in the skyline. Once you're happy with it, you can move to rendering. The final scene had only 330k polys, whereas my previous city scene shown in this video on the top right had close to 7.5 million polygons. For compositing, I just used the Blender compositor with a bloom node, some light vignetting, lens distortion and chromatic aberration, and finally the tune image node to fix the contrast, color and clarity. And that's how you can build large sci-fi city environments in Blender without overwhelming your computer. If you found this useful, consider subscribing for more environment design and Blender tutorials.